Welcome to Tailor Made Chaos. On this podcast, we'll bring you some of the highest flyers and most interesting people in and around the fitness industry. We'll talk and laugh with CEOs, franchisee groups, exercise specialists, and to those who work in sales and marketing, and will share their insights and knowledge of all things related to the business of fitness. Love what you hear? Make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date. On with today's show, proudly brought to you in conjunction with Fit Into Shape, a small but dedicated team of fitness industry professionals, delivering on all of your fitness equipment and gym design needs.
Sprint gear.
3, 2, 1. Well, in a moment of honest confession, I have to admit, I'm here today with Sam Waller. Now, Sam, I was very underprepared, rushing from a business meeting, but part of what I've been going through is a personal journey of growing through AI. So I just used AI to give me a bit of a biography on you, and it seemed to do a pretty good job.
Good honesty.
So I'm going to start with Sam Waller is an Australian fitness entrepreneur, best known as owner and national franchisor of Stepz Fitness. Stepz Fitness. God,
it's a mistake people make a lot of time.
If I could read.
I just called your equipment sprint gear before, so no stress.
A 247 gym franchise that's growing into a national network of clubs across Australia.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Pretty good. Not too bad.
All right. Well, how about you give us an intro of yourself then?
Yeah, sure. Myself, I started in 2009. I just left school. 2010, actually. I say 2009 a lot, but it's actually 2010. I just left school. I was in a lower point in my life. I lost a whole heap of weight, and I found a really big passion for health and fitness. It was always in the background, but then I was just, my parents, we talked about helping people in a career. My parents wanted me to go to do more. And, a lot of pressure. I went to private school in Queensland, so there was a lot of pressure to go do a profession. So I started in university, I think, doing a business management degree. Yeah. But 2 weeks in, I was just like, I was listening to a lecture teach us about Volkswagen and how Volkswagen as a brand was successful. And I was just looking at the lecturer, no offense, but I don't think he's ever sold a car, run a business in his life, and I was getting lectured to. So I was just like, I've had enough. Literally walked out in the class 2 weeks. And then a short time later, I stumbled across Stepz Fitness. And what I loved about it was non-intimidating. I was welcome because I just lost a fair bit of weight, and so I was still feeling a bit self-conscious in my body. But Stepz was non-intimidating, welcoming, and it was just my community instantly. So that's when I started there as a personal trainer. And then we'll talk about it more, but I went to the manager. I actually went straight from personal trainer to owner. The franchisor at the time was walking someone through the gym. And I was like, what are you doing? Quan, his name was.
Yeah.
And then he was like, we're actually going to sell the business in a couple of months. And I was like, I'll buy it for you. I'll buy it off you in January next year. For this amount, I had no money. I didn't have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
I went to 12 banks. I got declined by each one of them. The investor ended up being a member of the gym. They invested in me, with me. And then I took over that gym, got it to capacity, and then offered the master franchise role here in Sydney. Did that, and then took over the whole Stepz brand in 2017.
So mate, we've just had a brief synopsis on your life when I just asked for the intro.
I know.
But as usual, Sam, I love it.
Yeah.
So, mate, we're here, where are we now?
Stepz Fitness Battle Bay.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know where we are.
Yeah.
So, and this is one of your...
Yeah, one of the corporate clubs. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, first thing I learnt this morning was that you're a Queenslander. So, we're in dirty New South Wales.
Yeah.
Rugby league, who do you barrack?
I don't even... To be honest, I just dropped to my mates' sort of unhappiness. I just dropped out of all my betting groups and stuff this year. I'm all in on business. I spoke about it before, but who do I barrack for? Probably still Queensland and Broncos, because obviously the good result last year. I was at the grand final, and why not?
All right. So in true state of origin fashion, it's on the record you are from Queensland.
I am
You'll
Queensland.
never be a turncoat to New South Wales, even though you live here now.
They're a bit grubby, to be honest. No,
You're
Queenslander.
right. 100% good. I'm glad we've established that.
My
We can
dad will
still
be happy with that
friends.
one, yeah.
Good. So where are you, Mum? They're still in Queensland?
They're in Queensland. I've had a lot of my sort of family and friends, they all started in New South Wales, but then they've gone back to Queensland for obvious reasons, cost of living and stuff like that, to build a family there. I'm hanging strong in New South Wales. Yeah, we've got a lot of sort of growth there. I am really happy that we're opening 3 gyms in Queensland this year, Burnside, Rothwell and Tagham. So
they're official now?
Yeah, official.
Cool. By the
yeah.
time we go to air, they'll probably be open.
Oh, fingers crossed. Someone's done something wrong if they're not open. Yeah.
Fair enough. So, mate, let's talk about that. You grew up in Queensland.
Yeah.
What did Mum and Dad do?
Dad was
Are they still together?
yeah, still together.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Dad's a lawyer, and Mum just basically raised us kids, and she did a great job of it. Yeah.
Brothers, sisters?
I got an older brother. Yeah. He's at Quadrant Private Equity, and then twin sisters.
What do you still own?
Yeah, he doesn't like me talking about
No?
him,
Okay.
but yeah, they do own fitness and lifestyle. But he's on the board with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is health and wellness in the family.
Yeah,
background.
absolutely. Well,
You don't get any insider trading from them?
no, absolutely
Okay.
not on the record.
On the record? That's good.
Yeah, no, we don't actually talk about it too much. He's a great inspiration for me. He probably is the one that's always worked hard, can do unlimited hours in a work day.
Yeah.
So he is a role model of mine. All my family are role models. But off my brother, I learned how to work hard and be consistent. And off my dad, it was how to be consistent. Off my brother, seeing him work hard day in, day out. That's where I get inspiration. On the fitness side of things, I will happily compete with private equity any day of the week. I think we've got our finger on the pulse a lot better. We know what's going on. I think these fitness brands shouldn't be owned by private equity. But if they are, I'm more than happy to compete with them.
Good.
Yeah.
And look, we'll talk a little bit more about Stepz probably as we go through. Just for me, I always love to get a bit of history on people.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Queensland. Where were you? In Brisbane?
I was in Brisbane, yeah.
Were you at private school, public
Yeah,
school?
I went to private school. I went to
One of those.
Yeah, one of those
Right.
people.
Yes. Yeah.
I actually, what I love about it is I'll work hard to put my kids through private school.
Yeah.
But they're all the same though with AI. Like, do you even need schooling?
Of course.
Do you?
Yeah, because you've got to interact with human beings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and that's all I got.
you studied law, right?
Yeah, I studied law. Yeah.
So maybe you don't like people a lot as much as what you say.
Yeah. So for private school, for me, it just gave me my friends that I'm still friends with today. They're all Queenslanders. Some of them did move to Queens. I've still got 1 or 2 in Sydney,
Yeah.
but most of them have gone to Sydney and then moved back. But I've still got the same group of friends since I left school. They're all supportive of me. You know what we do, Glenn, we have to put ourselves out there a bit. We have to do some cringe stuff at times. But my mates will always...
no. It's all natural.
My mates always stuck by me in whatever I do, but they'll also pull me back if I'm being a bit too much.
Yep.
And I love and respect that about them. So, yeah, I've got from school, Gregory Terrace, I got a lot of like friends, and that's...
Was Gregory Terrace good? I was in public school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell the
I
difference.
can tell. That's
Yeah.
Well, look how smart you look.
Overbearing.
Yeah.
Trying to overcompensate.
No,
for my
I do that too. I'm smart casually. I overcompensate. I don't know why.
Yeah. So, sports, academia,
Yeah.
what were you into?
I was not that good at both. I played rugby. I was first in rugby.
So did I. I used to play rugby. I used to play left rider.
I was prop actually, so I was in the front row. But yeah, I think I talk about it a bit too much. But rugby was where I first broke my back. That's when I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Being a prop, I was always a bit overweight through school. I didn't really like carrying that around.
Yeah.
But yeah, played rugby. I wasn't great at academics, but I did really well in the end to work it out. Having a smart brother obviously helped me a bit.
Yep.
With exams and assignments, but yeah.
And you said you went to uni, but you lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And kind of found fitness.
Yeah.
So where were you training to lose the weight?
I was just, it wasn't a gym, it was just running outside, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you of that school? Because I still hear it, and it's still one of the most, surprising things that, you hear people say, I want to lose a bit of weight before I join the gym.
Yeah.
Were you of that
I did,
mentality?
yeah,
or?
naturally. Losing a bit of weight, I was then at a point where I had lost the weight and I needed to put on a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
I think weight loss, I think that's okay. Like if you want to lose weight before you come to the gym, please don't feel intimidated. Like you've got gyms like Stepz Fitness which are non-intimidating at all. Everything we do, from the greenery, from the signage, from the wooden aspects, like is so everyone can feel welcome to come to the gym.
I think that was probably one of the points I was going to get to is one of the things I find refreshing, skipping right forward now, is you have tried to create that non-intimidating fitness environment for probably people who do say that.
Yeah, correct.
It's intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Stepz has evolved so much from when I walked into that small 180 square meter gym to now where we are now with group fitness, functional training, 24/7 gym all under one roof. We're a lot different now. But throughout the whole brand process, I've tried to maintain what I love about Stepz Fitness, and it's the non-intimidating, everyone's welcome aspect that I've maintained throughout, and we have been able to achieve that. You'll see the members here today. Everyone's just in for a workout, not trying too hard.
I'm not dressed in workout.
Yeah, I know. But I have tried to keep that because even still, I'm still intimidating walking into some gyms. Some gyms, like, we've got a really good niche in the market that we want to be non-intimidating, and we hang our hat on it. We actually chose a designer to design our gyms who never stepped foot in a gym before, on purpose. So we didn't want her to come with any preconceived ideas of what the fit gym should be. So yeah.
Because the last sort of redesign of the club was about 3 years ago, roughly?
2018.
Was it that long ago?
Well, when I took over, when I took over, we did a new brand, sort of brand essence, brand evolution. So yeah, it's around that. Yeah.
I only thought it was 3 years ago. Now we're talking 6 or 7. So.
Yeah.
So mate, we're obviously dancing all around, but talk to me about an important part of your life.
Yeah.
Part that we often joke about.
Yeah.
Your Thai royalty.
Yeah. No.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
How did you meet, and how did you find out that she was Thai royalty?
Well, she's actually not.
Oh, she is.
No.
Come on, elaborate.
No, that's something that you and Marcus have taken and run with. I think it's getting out of hand. Her royalty status. She does act like a royal. I work so hard.
She's definitely a princess.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
I'd work so hard to keep the royalty up in the lifestyle she wants. No, but Emily, I met Emily the first weekend I was in Sydney. So, 2015. I spent all my money on the master franchise agreement. I had no money for a long time there. Emily actually fed me. I had no money to buy food and stuff like that. But Emily looked after me, and that's sort of when I decided I'd marry this lady, and it's the best decision I've made. I think, I think in all business you need a rock behind you, because business can be so up and down, so troubling. But having Emily behind me really, set me up.
And you've got a young
son.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of people say that having kids is going to take away from work life. It's motivated me. I work harder now with kids than I did before kids. I'm at the office a lot more. I try and stay away from the home because there's just so much to do. So I'm always quality over quantity.
Yeah, that's a great part of your mind. I just want to give you quality time, not be there all the time, but it's quality.
I don't know if the mother loves it, but
well, she's the rock, so that's key.
Yeah.
So obviously she's been a big part of your growth.
Yeah.
But talk to me about it. What is the plan for Stepz?
Yeah.
You've commented a couple of times that this year is kind of the year where you're focused on business. What was that transition?
Sure.
You've got a mentor now.
Yeah, I've been working with Nigel Miller. He started Plus Fitness. plus finished to 200 gyms, and it's taken me, how long? 15 years almost to Michael.
If you're listening to this, you're one of the people I'd love to be a guest on this show.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love being here,
but bigger and better things, yeah. No, I've been with Nigel for a bit over almost 2 years now, and it's really helped me refocus, make better decisions. He's helped me with decisions that I know is what I should be doing. He's helped me just to refocus on them.
Yeah.
And so it's been revolutionary for the business. We're going to open 7 gyms this year, so it'll be our biggest year yet. And I think I've made investments outside of business, and it takes up so much time investing in property or investing in shares, as opposed to just investing in your own business. So I've gone back to just investing in Stepz Fitness and just really focusing in.
Yeah.
And it's yielded great results. Where we want to be, Glenn, by 2035, I want to be at 100 gyms across Australia with 1,000 members at each gym, so 100,000 people, experiencing impacted. Because ultimately, it is about growth. It's about that. But what's driven me to be here today, Glenn, has been impacting as many people as possible. So it got to a point with personal training where I needed to have a gym to impact multiple people at once, and now it's helping other learners succeed. Because that's what's going to have an impact on Australia.
I think clearly being able to articulate what you do in business is a really core thing.
Yeah.
And, we did that with my business. We were at a supplier roundtable meeting yesterday, and I had some frustration with one of the other team members who didn't really have that ability to clearly articulate why he's doing what he's doing. So I love hearing that clarity from you. It's a pretty honourable goal.
Yeah, we spent 15 years thinking about it, so we might as well get it right.
So you talk about impact, and you talk about changing people's lives, and a lot of people in the industry do that. But I feel like it's a very genuine sort of place that you're coming from because of your personal journey. Is that kind of the main motivator, or is there's some other underlying factors there that drive?
I wouldn't be here today. I don't think I'd be here today if it wasn't about that changing people's lives and changing people's lives at scale. Because I didn't have a plan to buy the gym. I didn't have a plan to buy the master furniture. I didn't have a plan to buy all the Stepz out. It just it comes with growth and wanting to have an impact, I guess. Because we talked about it before, you can be driven by financials. I would probably driven more financials last year. I opened no gyms. And then now I'm driven by impact again and focused on what got us here. And now I'm opening 7 gyms. So the financial,
which hopefully will financially be sound, but that's not the driver.
It's not the driver. You get those big financial achievements, but then I find the big financial achievement, I felt like I've made it, retired, semi-retired, taking the foot off the pedal. Being impact driven is when you continually grow. You wake up every day and it's like, there's more to do, as opposed to financial goals. Finances will come.
That's it. So do you think it's important that as an operator of the business, you do have someone to be mentored by, or some peers to work with, or talk to me about how you think that impacts the business?
Not really. I don't think it's essential. I think it's really lucky that I found Nigel when he sold out of Plus and a couple of years out of Plus. I wasn't really looking for it as well. It's just we had a connection on LinkedIn. It was a cold LinkedIn message I sent him. We had an instant connection when we were speaking, and there was a lot of synergy there. I don't think it's essential that you have a mentor, because it's really hard to find a mentor, the right mentor. But at a certain stage, you'll probably need one, and it'll just supercharge your growth because they've done it before, and you're just listening to what they've done. It's important you also don't listen to everything they say and take everything they say. It's different.
It's your journey, not theirs.
But it's not essential, and it's really hard to find. But if you can find one, it'll impact you.
So, Sam, one of the key people in your business is Dan Hoskins,
for
better or worse. Talk to me about what Dan does in the business and how it's aided you to grow the business.
Dan Takes care of the operations. He was one of the top franchisees in terms of that go. But Dan basically takes care of all the sort of nitty gritty with the openings and stuff like that, which I'm not good at. So he supplements me in openings and contracting and supplies and stuff like that, which I'm not as good at. So it's a staff thing for months and getting it right, finding the right staff.
And you touched on before that you left your initial degree, but you've gone on to do a legal degree.
Yeah.
Has that been something that's been beneficial to being a franchisor?
Well, law and franchise is intertwined. Your relationship's governed by an agreement, unfortunately, sometimes. It is very closely intertwined. It has helped me. I still pay lawyers and stuff like that, but it has helped me make sense of it. What it taught me more, Glenn, is probably discipline and a bit of self-belief. I think I'm like you. I like
nobody ever admits that.
No, I think we're similar. We need self-belief. We're not in ourselves. We're not the most confident people. Over time, self-belief's built, and it's something that helped me build self-belief in myself. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, what next for Stepz? Other than obviously you've got this great growth plan. It's like and I actually have some opinions on that, but I want to get your No, I want to get your feel. This is your podcast, not mine. What do you see is next for your business in terms of evolution? Is there anything, or do you just keep working? We're
focused on the core product. We've been ahead of the market for a while in terms of doing both the group fitness side of things really well and the 24/7 side of things really well. Where there's a big enough space, we'll put in some wellness, but to all our franchisees, future franchisees, it's really not going to change the game. What changes the game is how good our product is. How well we achieve members' results and how well we sell it as well. One thing that Nigel taught me, and I think a lot of people you speak to understand, is how important sales is. Sales is even more important these days. How well you can humanize the experience with AI is crucial. So we're focused on that. So our product is there. If we can add some wellness, we'll add it. If not, we won't. We'll stick to our core product. We'll sell it really well, and then we'll deliver results, members' results.
Well, we are much more aligned than what you want to give credit for. As long as we stop touching these. Where do you see the evolution of the business? You touched on before, you don't have a big belief in private equity, and you have to go ahead with that. There is a lot more private equity that has come to the industry in the last while. And to me, I refer to independence as the franchising sector, which helps bring more independent operators. But there has been a lot more private equity. So where do you see that balancing out, leveling out, and how do you see it happening in the industry?
I think it's at its max saturation point of private equity and shares. Big companies holding most of the market share on the stock market. I think it's at max saturation. I think they've bought everyone up. They've either run out of money to buying, or their appetite's changed, so they're not buying as much. All the independents have been bought out a bit. I think you'll do really well if you go with any of my competitors. You'll do well coming with Stepz. So being part of a franchise is the way to go, as opposed to being independent. I think independent now is very, very tough. You are dealing with the brands can compete with the private equity and the stock market with ASX listed companies, but being an independent, I think it'd be really hard. You've got aggregators like Fitness Passport and stuff, which make it even more difficult these days. So choose a brand, choose one of my competitors. If you're not going to choose us, you'll do pretty well in all of them. But I think being with a brand is very important these days.
So I think you make a point that, marketing a brand go hand in hand, and as an independent operator, it's very hard to market
Yeah.
Like I was watching with Jim, the founder of Jim.
Yeah, Jim Penman. Well,
Yes, thank you.
we get targeted as well.
Yeah,
I watch a lot too.
But I actually really enjoy watching on Instagram, TikTok, a lot of the commentary that they do.
Yeah.
Like they ask you questions and they're like, and the big thing I kind of read from all of that is that where they've succeeded is the brand.
Yeah.
And it really supports the independent operator coming under their brand.
Yeah.
So, like for you, do you see that as key that you could have previous independent operators that revert to being a Stepz franchise?
Yes, I'd welcome all independent operators. Like I think if you've done it, I'd welcome everyone to speak, reach out to Stepz and see how we can do conversion. There might even be some co-contribution to signage and stuff like that I'm willing to do. I just don't think the pool of independents is as big anymore.
No, look, they're obviously one of the other groups.
You've had a bit more exposure to it, yeah? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, and that's been great for them.
Pretty much the big multinationals and then Stepz competing. There's a couple of brands that are competing well, but you're either on the share market, you're private equity, or then you've got the brands under that. Like it's you can't get more saturated than this. I think there might be some room for some brands to grow off the top of some debris from big brands imploding, but the market's at a very saturated point, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I did see an interesting stat fairly recently that Australia now has the highest penetration of clubs at 27 to 28%. Do you see and one of my passions is probably that link between health, medical, and the fitness industry. Do you see that penetration rate will continue to grow and clubs will continue to succeed, or do you see it as we are at a level of saturation?
Quite the opposite. We're next to some schools here. Come 3 o'clock, young kids will be in on their phone. With that membership, their parents paying for their membership. Sometimes the 16-year-old kids as well pay for their own memberships or younger, which I really like. No one saw that that 14 to 16-year-old gym membership market be as big as it is, but it's a core driver in the market now. With medical, you talk medical, I think with the GLP-1s and everything like that, Ozempic and stuff like that, people need to come into the gym for muscle, to maintain muscle, because it will, drag your muscle mass, it will drag your body mass down. So muscle mass and stuff like that is going to be so much more important. So a lot more weights and stuff like that people will need, because a lot of people are on those GLP-1s more than you know, and that's okay. We support that as long as you're doing it in an environment with health and fitness still as your backbone. Otherwise, the long-term results of it won't be great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge amount of research to say when you're on GLP-1s that you lose muscle and fat, which is great, that you're losing the fat, but you want to enhance the muscularity.
I think gyms are going to be so much more important going forward. I also think everyone's got a similar mapping. Everyone knows the gaps that are still available in Australia. When we did it, we identified 300 gaps where we would put a gym. That's probably down to about 200. That's probably another reason why I'm going pretty fast at the moment, is because there is only a certain amount of spots you can put a gym, and the regions are crying out for it. So, we do come up with a bit of trouble. We're trying to get into Mudgee at the moment, but council have made it pretty difficult for us. But I just say regions need a gym. We need that sort of local support, because we do so well out there in the regions, and we're partnered with Rural Doctor Network and stuff like that to help sort of strengthen what we do. Because out there in the regions, a lot of people have had gastric surgery, they're on the GLP-1s, but they don't know what to do in the gym. So we're partnering with doctors and stuff like that to sort of educate people more.
So probably one of your key points of difference, I think, is you do have that studio, group fitness environment. And a lot of operators talk about, group doesn't get a return on investment. Talk to me about the secret sauce. What makes Stepz work?
Yeah, well, you'll see up there, if you can see the screens, you'll see Stepz TV. So it's not just like we didn't just add in a space where you do group fitness like a lot of people have. We have a closed off area with a door usually, and then we've got Stepz TV. So I spent probably $100,000 developing our own proprietary software, which basically runs the classes for them, and the trainer just says press and play. They can make edits, but we've gone all in group fitness. So we've got two models effectively. We've got the group fitness model and the 24/7 gym model. Anyone that says it doesn't get results or doesn't get a return, I would say you're probably not doing it well enough, and probably give
Speak to you about
speak to us or give up on group fitness. Just focus on the 24/7 gym. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But with the group fitness side of things, I originally did it. Talk about impact as well. I had my first gym at capacity. It was 24/7 gym. It was at capacity. And then I was like, what more can we do for members? Because I saw a lot of people just coming in doing their own workouts and not really getting people results. So to get people results is a group fitness, and I can sell that one any day of the week. Yeah.
Well, and it's very easy to sell something when you're passionate about it. And obviously you're super passionate about the brand and what you're achieving. What else do we need to speak of?
I don't know. You're the question master.
Yeah. People say this.
Yeah. I've talked about everything.
I think we covered a fair bit. We covered royalty, even though you didn't tell us why she's not royalty. We'll leave that as a scoop for another day.
Yeah. Maybe mafia.
So Sam, you're a pretty relaxed cat.
Yeah.
Yet obviously you're growing one of the bigger brands in the country.
Yeah.
That would be something that I'd feel pretty positive about if I was an independent operator looking to convert.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, Glenn, I've been tinkering and systemizing since I was 21, since I was master franchise. So most of the systems are now been refined, being changed, being tinkered. We do have a bit of AI that does our emails for us. There's really, as an owner, there's not much you need to do apart from motivate staff, ensure the sales are being done, and ensure our daily checklist is being done. We've got everything systemized from a daily checklist. So a new manager can walk in, they read a screen of exactly what tasks they need to do, from cleaning, from walking the gym floor, reminding them to walk the gym floor and speak to people for 5 minutes. Everything's systemized, so it's all done for you, and it's all systemized, so we're all ready to go. And it is a very easy business to run because of that systemization. So an owner would have to spend probably 5 to 10 hours a week on checking on things, really, making sure things are done. So we are lucky that it is a very simple business now.
And I imagine, like many other brands, you've got some sites that you're sort of sitting on. How is the growth plan with you acquire sites, or do you acquire the franchisee and then acquire a site? What's sort of
we a bit of both, because the timing's never perfect. So I've got some fantastic sites that I'll put my name on tomorrow. One in Bega where it'll probably be gone by this, but where the owner will get $300,000 capital to fit out the gym, and then the rent's a very good rent. There's no other competitor in Bega. So I've got a site there that I'll put my name on if no franchisee comes forward in the next couple sort of, I'd say, days or weeks. But then also sometimes we get the franchisee first, and then we have to find sites as well. One thing we won't do is rush the site or pick a site that's too competitive. You'll see Stepz not really in all those competitive areas where all the other competitors are going. Look at Castle Hill. Revo just opened up there. It's pretty crazy. So Stepz just won't go into those areas. We had a franchisee that wanted Castle Hill, and we just said no. So we'll say no to as many opportunities as we say yes to. But there's heaps of opportunities ready to go.
Well, look, it's quite interesting. The model that you're doing with Stepz is very similar to the model that I used to run with Fitness Matters. And there were a couple of parties that were joined in that. But our philosophy was to have a 2-4-7 club with group fitness. We didn't crash, which
we don't.
but this is going back quite a while ago.
Yep.
Our philosophy was to take structured business that, or city type principles into regional areas.
Yeah.
And it feels like Stepz is taken the mantle and done a better job with it.
No, that's absolutely right. We're going where not everyone's going. It's a blue ocean strategy, so we want to do what no one else is doing and go where no one else is going. And that's stood us really well. There is always a temptation to go in with the big guys, but I think it's an ego play. I think it's ego. If I go and put one in the city, it'll just be Sam's ego got out of control.
There you go. You've got an international scoop on the podcast now. Sam's ego's under control.
Yeah, it's at a good level at the moment. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, mate, on ego, I suppose that's probably a good time for us to sign off. Mate, love what you're doing.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you.